I've got something to say.
I've got something to say.
I've got something to say.
Yes, I really do have something to say.
I have a whole lot to say.
Sure, I've got something to say.
I've got something to say.
I surely have something to say.
I've got something to say.
Then say it. Contact me right here, right now. Thank you.
I got something to say. With Dr. Netreia Carol leading the way.
Nicole Crystal Sinkule should still be alive. Instead, her life was stolen in a moment of unthinkable violence at the hands of her boyfriend, Eric Marum, a man whose rage turned deadly. This video uncovers the chilling truth behind Nicole's final hours, the warning signs that were ignored, and the heartbreaking aftermath left for her family and community. This story is not just about a crime. It's a call to protect victims, expose abusers, and speak up before silence becomes tragedy. Eric wants to get out of prison. Those who know him say, no. Nicole's family and friends say, no. Members of this community say, no. Governor Newsom, you should say, no. Eric Marum is a cold-blooded, vicious killer. He left the hammer in her head. Never. Let him out of prison. He will kill again. In his hands, death is just one drug away. Someone else's daughter, niece, sister, or mother would die the same way. Help us not take that chance. Eric Marum, stay where you belong. Please sign our petition. The link is in the comments below.
Welcome again to I've Got Something to Say. And again, every time I think we've heard it all, I find out we don't. Today I have a very touching story. It really made my heart quiver when I read the newspaper article. And I just want to share my friends with you. So at this time, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. What's your names?
Hi, I'm Claudia.
Hi, I'm Glenn Sinkule.
Okay, do you mind if we just jump right into the story?
No, that's fine.
Let's start from the beginning. What happened?
Well, we had moved from living in the desert 25 years to Carlsbad, which was closer to where our daughters lived, Nicole and Donetta. And we were moved in about a month, and we had a little family gathering that night. Nicole was there, her sister, Donetta, cousin, Carrie, her Aunt Loanne, and her grandpa and grandma, Sinkule. And we had a nice dinner, and that night, Nicole did her laundry, and she wanted to go home. She had a telephone conversation with her boyfriend, and he came over to the house to get her, and I wouldn't let her go. And then after about an hour, she wanted to go home, so I took her home that night. And I stayed with her 3 hours, and Nicole had taken him in that night. He had been kicked out of rehab.
Rehab for what?
For drugs, and he was on probation in 2 counties. And she took him in that night, and when I took her home, we put his clothes out on the porch, which I know was a big mistake now. When I left, she had let him come back in, and then her neighbor was over and drinking with him, and then her neighbor was on the front porch drinking with the boyfriend, Nate. And
the boyfriend, that's Nicole's boyfriend?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And Nate, Nicole's boyfriend, kept going into the house, and the neighbor kept hearing something, and then finally went in to check and seen that Nate was killing Nicole. And he went and called the police. And
okay, so it sounds like to me that he would go in, do something to her,
Yes.
come out. He would go in, do something else to her, and come out.
I think he was getting up on left nerve, and then one time he did it all in one visit to her bedroom.
Okay.
But we don't know that.
Only from the other guy that was in the room.
Okay, and so just for the sake of our viewers of knowing what's going on, they had a daughter who was murdered, and they're here to share their story. It sounds like you felt that there was something wrong in the first place because you didn't want her to go home. Why was that?
Right. Well, because he had come to our house that night, and I knew that there was something wrong, and I didn't want her to go home, but she was insistent. So when I did take her home, I sat with her for quite a while, and when I left, I kissed her and told her that the next time I see her, we'll be in heaven. And
you said that?
Yeah, and I had no idea, because if I would have really known that, I wouldn't have left that day.
I understand.
But, yeah, and so then 3 hours later, she was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Power of our words, too.
Yeah.
Tell me your perspective. Where are you with this? Where were you then? What did you think? How did you feel? Where were you?
Horrified. It was very, very horrific. Unhumane how she left and how he attacked her, and I felt empty. I felt some of my soul be gone when the detective, I just felt something missing in my being, and that's my baby girl.
Right. Now, thinking back, do you think there was something that you could have done to pull her out of that relationship?
I think that we could have had a safety plan. I think that I could have told her more detail about my sister that was murdered by her husband 40 years ago in her bed. I think that I think at the time Nicole was sharing bits of her story with everybody. A little bit, say, with you, a little bit with me, a little bit with her dad, but nobody came together and combined her story.
So what was really going on with her then?
I think emotional. It was all emotional abuse at the time. Mm-hmm. He was breaking her down emotionally. Mm-hmm. And when we moved from the desert out this way, I think that the lights started going on for her, and he started to act out.
Exactly.
So was there anything going on before the night that he killed her?
Yeah, she went to court. When was it, Glenn? Before that, she had a restraining order on him. She was working at Fish Grotto, downtown, and he came into her work, and they had to call the police, put him in the police car. He kicked the window, jumped in the bay. They had him on domestic violence, which we really weren't sure what was all coming together at that time.
Right.
And,
so do you think he was beating her?
No, we have no evidence of that.
Yeah.
No, it's just all of a sudden she just flipped on her.
Yeah, that night.
Wow. And so tell me, what happened after that?
Well, the next day, I went upstairs around noon to take a nap, and I had tried calling Nicole a couple times, and she didn't answer.
So this is before you found out?
Yes, okay. And I went upstairs. We lived in Carlsbad, and I went upstairs to take a nap, and then there was a knock at the door.
Doorbell. And a man and a woman dressed in black suits came to the door, and I knew something. I knew
something had happened.
Bad had happened. And they said, I don't know what they said, something about, are you Nicole's father? Something I knew right then. I felt that she was gone. And I don't think we've been the same ever since.
Wow. Have you guys got a chance to speak with the family, his family? Anything of that sort?
We seen them a year later at the sentencing, and we were able to go up in front of the judge and just say what we needed to say. And thank you. And that's the last time we seen them. It was a statement of, and I can't even think what it is now, but you read it to the prisoner, and they went up and they talked about their son and said he was rehabilitated after a year, and that's it. The father is a psychiatrist in Napa, still practicing, dealing in anger management and holding classes in domestic violence. The mother teaches disabled children. The brother's an attorney in San Diego.
Were they sorrowful, or did they see any signs with their son? Any warning that they could have given you?
They could have, yes. In the year Nicole dated, they could have called us and said, my son has been this with another girl, this, but instead they kind of dumped their son on Nicole.
On our family.
Nicole wouldn't tell us. Nicole didn't tell us everything
She defended
during
her
that
man,
year.
like women do.
Yeah. And how old was she?
Nicole was 25, and during that year that she was dating him, she had become pregnant, and she moved back home with us for a few months, and she had lost the baby, so she moved back out and in with her sister in Oceanside, and then she got her own apartment. Is when he killed
So
her.
they were dating what, like 4 years? How much?
They were dating a year.
All of that in 1 year.
And he was in rehab a few times and out. And when she came home and she was pregnant, we thought, well, we'll give him a chance because now there's a baby involved.
Right.
And but when she lost the baby and then moved back to Oceanside, that's when it all materialized.
Tell me something about him. What did you see as a mother and a father beforehand?
Kind of a loner. We seen one time we went over, she took us in her apartment and all her pictures on the refrigerator were turned backwards.
Why?
All except for one picture of my mother, and she was dressed in like a devil's outfit. And that's the only picture that wasn't turned. And all of her pictures everywhere was turned backwards. And
Could he have possibly been in some satanic worship stuff that the kids get in, or?
I believe if you sell your soul and sell your mind to a drug like crystal meth, that
Possible.
That
you
you
leave your
open
mind
yourself
open.
up for the spiritual bad side
Yeah.
of this world to
Come in.
take over and influence you heavily, because you don't have the armor of God on you protecting and
That's
bouncing the arrows. You know the
right.
scripture. So you leave yourself open to bad stuff and
The dark side.
the
Yeah.
dark side.
But you know, not everyone that has done crystal meth has murder in their heart.
No.
So he had to. I mean, I come from a generation that did it. They didn't murder people.
Right.
So it had to be in his heart to begin with.
Already.
And
Yeah.
the drug brought it out. That is my 2 cents about the
Tell
whole
me,
thing.
how does he feel about all of this? Did you get a chance to talk to him?
The day that we had to talk and victim impact statements, that's
Yes,
what we
that's
gave
what it
at the
was, yeah.
sentencing. He said he was sorry and asked for forgiveness. And I got to speak, and Glenn got to speak, and Grandpa got to speak, and but I couldn't forgive him. I can't forgive him, but I can. I don't want to get even with him, but I don't have forgiveness in my heart. I don't want to talk to him.
Right.
I
How
did-
about now?
I wrote
10
him a
years
letter
later?
10 years later. I have it in my computer, but no, I don't want to talk to
Still
him.
not there yet.
No.
Too much pain.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What have you guys done to cope with this?
Just what we're doing now. We tell our story, we cry, we grieve, we heal. Through our pain, we get some healing out of it and some comfort, and we love our daughter, and we get to talk about her. She was a really wonderful person, and now maybe we can help maybe just one other person by our story.
Right.
We have to feel the pain. You don't. And you can avoid it, hopefully.
So if you could give some advice to someone who's watching, that could possibly be in the situation, what are some of those main things that you would want them to know to help bring them out?
I would want them to have a safety plan, first and foremost. If Nicole had had a safety plan, things might have been different. I don't know if they would have been or not, but it's a good chance that you have a better chance with the safety plan.
And when you say safety plan, can you give us an idea?
Phone numbers, keys, money, important papers, anything that you think you might need to survive. You could hide them at a friend's house.
What about something for self-defense? I mean, I'm imagining your beautiful daughter laying in her bed. She was in her bed, right?
She was sleeping.
She was sleeping.
With a broken leg.
On a cast on her leg, face
so
down.
She's in her bed, and here comes some knucklehead and takes a hammer. It was a hammer, right? And starts hitting her with it. For people that are in that position, I can't see the safety plan helping them right away.
Well, from Nicole's case, there's come out when there's a domestic violence situation and the authorities are called, one person has to be removed from the situation.
Okay.
So that has been changed since Nicole's death.
Nice.
Other than that, it would totally be on the female. Not to let them in, to get the restraining order, to make sure the locks are...
It's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away.
It's okay. But girls like...
She had the restraining order lifted. Women have a soft heart for either bad men or good men. Some bad men manipulate and try to take over that soul, that individual soul, and you just can't do it. And I have lost my train of thought, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're dealing with a lot. I mean, it's 10 years later, and just talking to you guys, I can feel the energy as if it were yesterday, and my heart hurts too.
I don't know if the girls, because I myself when I was younger in domestic violence situation, you realize it's not just about you, because now here I sit and Nicole's father sits and Nicole's sister sits and everybody that loved Nicole is hurting. It didn't just destroy her life, it destroyed many lives.
Many.
A lot of us have picked up the pieces, but...
In our Carlsbad home, we had 180 people come through there for the memorial. There were speakers set up on the lawn. These people just took over and just turned where she worked at Rancho Bernardo, and they catered the whole thing. Chefs had, I mean...
Yeah, they brought tables and put them out in the backyard, and we had just moved out here, so we didn't know who would show up, and that's why we had it at the house. But they blessed us. They helped us through it, and but allowing us to speak and tell our story. And Nicole came from 2 natural parents and a sister 2 years difference. They were very close, and they were brought up in a Christian home, and so was her boyfriend. The story is 2 natural parents, a brother 2 years apart from him, and a Christian family. And we're middle class, we're white, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
There's no boundaries.
Is there any word that you could come up that can describe the pain that you guys endure on a daily basis from that? One word?
I don't know that it's on a daily basis, the intensity of it anymore. But I guess it would be hell.
Wow.
There's no words. It's a unnatural thing that happened to my wife and myself. It doesn't usually happen in life. It's unnatural, and there's just no words for this type of thing. It's a club that we don't want to belong. It's a very lonely club, but nevertheless, it's our club.
Yeah. Is there any advice you can give to someone who just lost a child? Because that's a That's a pain that's worldwide. I mean, we could look at, shows overseas. When it's something about losing someone you carried.
I would just say breathe.
Yeah.
You can't
Remember to eat.
Yeah. To take a shower, to drink. You have to have someone to remind you to do those things.
Have good caregivers around that, because you don't do those things. You
just stop.
You stop.
You're in shock.
You're
in shock. Yeah, you're in shock.
This year, 10 years later, is the first year I have been able to watch a movie all the way through.
Wow.
Because my mind wouldn't absorb it. It just wouldn't. Not that I thought anything different. I couldn't do it.
Oh, and that all was an effect.
Oh yeah, and we have, post-traumatic syndrome. I mean, when there's like when Glenn went through his surgery, it just took us back. I mean, the stresses of life will bring us. So it's like you gotta sometimes constantly battle, and then we have to battle with each other because men and women grieve different.
Yeah.
And so to go through the loss of a child and to continue to hold on to your marriage is
a testimony in itself.
It's another battle.
I applaud you guys. I really do.
It's Christ living in us because, you know what, there's no way. There's no way. And the first, when Nicole first died and I had panic attacks and I couldn't get off the floor, there's no way. His grace picked me up and carried me. I didn't have to do any works. I didn't have to show how I wasn't a sinner. I didn't have to do nothing. He was there and he carried me.
His favor.
Yeah.
I was just talking to the people at church a few weeks ago about favor. Many times, I don't know, like myself, I would ask God, I do so much for you. When do I get mine back? It's time for my harvest to come through. And he reminded me that if he gave me according to the work I gave him, it would not equal up to the favor.
It wouldn't be nothing.
Yeah, that he has for me. Favor comes without doing anything.
It's grace.
Simply because he loves us. And I can see God's favor on you guys in such a great way. Tell me, is there something else? Have you guys sought any counseling maybe, or something to help you through, or is it something that you just embrace each other?
No, we went through, 5 years with the hospice program, and
we've seen 3 different counselors. One was a real help to us, and we're still friends with her today. She won't counsel us though because she's become too much of a friend to us. So yeah, she goes, "I'll recommend this. We want you."
Yeah, and most people they don't believe in counseling.
Yeah.
What would you say to those who don't believe it but they need it? What do you tell them?
Just it's all in your mind. It just a counselor helps you understand your mind, especially men. Boy, we don't know a whole lot, and I still don't. But counseling, they unlock what you already know, and they just show you what you already know. So you say, "Oh, I knew that," and they affirm that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. And men have thick skulls, and it's hard to penetrate men.
Okay, so would you recommend that to them? Or?
I feel if you get the right counselor, and you'll know if it's not the right counselor. And I feel it's important in the beginning because it's a safe place. Even though I remember when we were first in counseling, it didn't feel like anything was helping, but it was a safe place and it was a consistent place that we went to that kept us going, so we could just stay in one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
We've been to some sort of counseling for 25 years of some sort or another. It's healthy.
Yeah. Can we think of a few happy thoughts? Just tell me who she was.
She was everybody's best friend. That's what they tell us.
Nicole would bounce. If you open that door, she would bounce. She wouldn't walk on it. She would bounce. She would skip. She would hop on one. She would do something that was joyful. She was a bundle of joy. I mean, she knew everybody's name in the room. She knew everybody's story in the room. Yeah, she was everybody's best friend.
Yeah, she just was a very delightful person. Everyone loved her girlfriends, you know. They just, everyone deeply loved Nicole because she deeply loved this child that we had. Everybody blows a kiss at their children, so we would do that. She would catch it in midair, take it, actually, and swallow. And she would watch it, feel it go down, and she would keep it next to her heart.
Oh.
And this was, we didn't teach her that. This is what,
She did that on her own.
yeah, this is what she thought about love. Very, very high priority in her life.
Nice.
Love and family.
Nice.
And she taught us, we have a golden retriever called Precious, T for Trouble. And she was a year old when Nicole died. But Nicole, before Precious died, used to say, because Precious was trouble when she was a puppy, and Nicole used to say, Mom, she's got a good heart. And then she used to make Precious talk for everybody. Like, say, if I'm mad at Glenn, we still do that today. Precious will walk through the room, and Precious will say, stupid dad. And so nobody gets mad at Precious. So, yeah, it's just, it's...
Oh, she got a piece of paper. You have something to show us?
I want to read this because we had people write letters for when we go in front of the parole board.
Okay.
And this was a letter that I had found that it's worth reading.
Okay. Can you address that camera over there? And maybe we'll close the show with you reading that letter.
Hello, I wanted to write because I was deeply affected and I'm still affected by what happened to Nicole. I was an acquaintance of hers. I played softball with her ex-boyfriend, a guy she dated before Eric. And Eric is Nate, the last boyfriend. When you meet people, sometimes there is something about them that just strikes you in a positive way. Nicole was like this. Her smile, energy, spirit, just so positive. I knew right away what a warm person she was. One can tell she had a big heart. And just an aura about her that brightened your spirits when seeing her. Even though I wasn't a close friend, it was disheartening to know that her life was taken by the hands of Eric Marum. Seldom do you meet someone who is so innocent with a zest for life like Nicole. I'm not saying that because she has passed. I'm saying it because it was so true when she was alive. She is someone I met that I would never forget. That is how much respect and gratitude I had for her being. My point of this is that someone like Eric Marum took a life of someone whose spirit moved complete strangers, acquaintances like myself. How many people do you really meet like that? Someone who just moved people because of how gracious in life they were and were to others. She was definitely someone that did not deserve to pass the way she did. And I won't read who wrote it, and that's about the end of it. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. You know, this has been one of those shows where my heart is torn because there's so many people out there just like they are who have suffered the same thing and are trying to deal with the pain of it. And I just want to remind you of two precious beings. One name is Grace, and the other name is Mercy. Well, I'll throw another one in. How about joy? The joy of the Lord is your strength. Depend on Him, for He is the one who sent grace and mercy to follow you all the days of your life. He said that weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. In other words, the pain may be hard right now, but we serve a God that has never left you or forgotten about you. He's there for you, and He wants you to lean and depend on Him. So I want to encourage you while you're going through this time to let you know that you're not all by yourself. I feel your pain. I hurt too. They hurt too. But all of us standing together, grabbing a hold of God's, magnificent joy can change this world forever. Please keep your chin up. I love you, and take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on I've Got Something to Say. For more episodes, tune in to NDC International Network on Roku.